October, holding a special place for Hindus all over the world as it is the birth month of Mahatma Gandhi and is also often when Diwali and other big festivities like Durga Puja, Sharad Purnima, Navratri and Karwa Chauth are held, is being celebrated as Hindu Heritage Month in parts of America. The idea behind this resolution, championed by HAF, Hindu American Foundation, is not only increasing local awareness and acknowledging the significant contributions made by the Hindu American community, but also seeks to increase understanding of the Hindu culture and the community. Back in India, this festival time, however, has often been marred by debates in the last few years. Most Hindus feel that woke liberals are systematically attacking their culture by using arguments that are skewed and don't hold in front of a time-tested scientific way of life. Karwa Chauth and Raksha Bandhan have now become symbols of patriarchal oppression, and during Navratri, as most Hindus worship the manifestation of the feminine strength in the form of Shakti or Devi, there would always be alternate readings of the Mahishasur or campaigns on domestic violence. Recently, a parody of Ram Leela was being performed by students of a university disrespecting one of the oldest, most universally relevant epics written for humankind. Hindu festivals follow a calendar or panchang that is more accurate than most scientific weather predictions, and it celebrates the cycle of nature, and these festivals mark those changes and have rituals that celebrate them. Sanatan Dharma has often been regarded as one of the most eco-friendly and democratic faiths, and of course over time certain rituals might require correction, seeing current climate change or current gender narratives, but those should be advised only and only after understanding the origin and idea behind these traditions first. We are being joined today by two elegant flag bearers of Indian heritage as well as interesting storytellers of a glorious past, personal and communal, spreading awareness and knowledge of Indic history, festivals, art and craft. Vidhi Rastogi is the founder and content creator for an Indian brand called Miras, and Sharmi Adhikari has been a senior journalist in the Indian lifestyle space and is currently an entrepreneur as well as successful sari blogger and influencer.
Yeah, so I'm going to start by talking about how this festival time all over the world is very important to Indians and Hindus, because October being the month where there's so many festivals back to back from cultures from north to south, east to west. But in recent times, this particular period is always mired by some controversy in India. Some debate happens, and woke liberals would usually say that it's right wing oversensitivity, or that we're just misplacing our anger at such things. But has it? But do you think that their arguments do not hold because Hindu Sanatan Dharma is a very, very old, time and tested, scientific based faith, and without understanding the background behind these rituals, if you just question them, that's a very half baked way of viewing them. So we are going to talk about that today. First, let me introduce you two. We are being joined today by two very elegant flag bearers of our heritage. They are also interesting storytellers of a glorious past, both personal, because I've seen in Sharmi's stories how she talks about her personal, stories, her family, and how she intervenes it in the way she talks about saris, and communal. You both are spreading awareness about Indic history, our festivals, arts, and craft through your business or your personal style. So, Vidhi Rastogi is the founder and content creator for an Indian brand called Miras. Miras, if I'm right.
Yeah. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Miras.
And Sharmi, Sharmi is a senior journalist in the Indian lifestyle space and is currently working as a successful sari blogger, influencer, and a freelancer. So, without getting into too much controversy around it, but do you both agree? We can start with one by one. That when Hindu festivals are selectively or systematically targeted, there is less awareness of Hindu culture, and so without understanding the background, if they are attacked, there is less merit in that.
Yeah, I
So,
think so.
Vidhi, you
See,
can start.
okay, okay.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
either of you. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, this is something that I have been talking on and off with Sharmi also. So I think both of us will be sharing a common point of view in this. I'm very sure of that. But of late, initially, even I used to think that, okay, maybe we are being asked to just broaden our horizon, maybe open up our mind a little bit. But gradually, we have started seeing that this is actually nothing but a systematic targeting without even understanding the very basics of the festival. Now, a festival is not an alien entity. It is not a big party. It is not just a reason to wine, dine, and just party. Of course, that's all a part of it, but it has got a deep historical and cultural significance, and a very important significance that is critical to the religion, to the land, to the history, to the economies joined with it. And without understanding the very basic of it, without even having the patience to at least understand why somebody is
Yeah.
protesting and why some word is important, just attacking it, and simply labeling everybody who is rooting for it as prude, or whatever new age term has come about, is something which is short sighted and intolerant in its very nature. So yeah, it's been happening for a long time, and gradually now people are seeing it.
Also, I feel, that we're noticing this now, but it's roughly this time that even Indian, like, because I have been associated with fashion for a long time, like ethnic brands that you wouldn't really kind of pay too much heed to, and in terms of that they are spreading negativity, but like say Manyavar, the campaign that they did, Kanya Man.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there was a huge
Yeah.
yeah, so there was a huge furor. So without knowing the basis of the ritual or the custom,
Yes.
uh, very very softly they have done it, and
Subtly.
people will say,
Subtly.
oh,
Yeah.
very subtly, yeah, they very subtly
Yeah.
they've done it, and people would say, they're just giving, they're just trying to propagate equality, but it's not
Hmm.
that, without knowing the basis of the custom, why it is happening, like, one, the girl is, her gotra is changing, it's a beautiful custom, it is
Yeah.
in a Hindu marriage, it's a beautiful custom. So co- completely
Yeah.
rubbishing that without knowing why the custom is being held, I think it's very unfair. And then you use a person as the face of that campaign, a person who
Yeah.
isn't clued into
Who's
that
widely
custom. Yes, I
accepted,
would understand.
Exactly.
Yeah,
widely
yeah.
accepted
So
by youngsters. Yeah.
yeah, so what happens is, so Alia Bhatt is a face, who is followed by all the youngsters of this country, and
Yeah.
they would be thinking like, acha, Alia Bhatt is saying it, so maybe there might be some, truth in this, or might be some, her words might have some heft, but
Yeah.
but she is included into the culture that much, means
Yeah.
to even explain what goes, why is the, why, in ancient slokas, why this custom was there,
Yeah.
in a Bengali marriage or in a Hindu marriage, like why the father has to give the hand of the daughter to the person she's marrying. It's a very beautiful, and it's done with a lot of faith, it's done with a lot of positivity. Without understanding the basis of that, to completely trash it, so basically what you kind of destabilizing the whole Hindu marriage, uh, uh,
Yeah.
you know uh, Hindu marriage
Foundation.
basis a bit, because yes,
Yeah.
the foundation, because, and you're doing it when the wedding season is slowly is going to kind of, it's
Exactly.
knocking on the door,
Yeah.
and people start even sare, and everything is connected, a social marriage has all these customs, so you kind of buy a lot of things for the puja, so people just might say, इन सब चीजों
It's a
की
full
कोई जरूरत ही
ecosystem that
नहीं
you're
है, बस कर
juggling.
दो.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yes. Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. In fact, I would just like to add one thing, Dipti, to what Sharmi is saying. See, not only youngsters, even older people in my family who have been practicing this custom got swayed by that ad. They got swayed in one instant, and they said, oh yeah, so that is so right, and it should not be done, it should be man. And I had to tell them, it's not a copyright. You need to understand that these terminologies have been developed by very evolved ascetic saints for a reason. It's not like, you can bump off dan and replace it with man. It is not a copyright that was happening in an advertising agency back then.
Everything is not about feminism over here.
Exactly. Everything is not a feminist issue. The whole thing is about Lakshmi and perceiving woman as an image of Lakshmi. Now, if somebody does not even understand what Devi Lakshmi stands for, and how, during a marriage, groom is the embodiment of Vishnu and the girl is the embodiment of Lakshmi. If they don't even understand those basics and quickly think that अच्छा दान का मतलब होता होगा दान में दे देना, तो उसको मान कर देते हैं. So then let's have Manveer Karn. Then let's have, let's replace dan everywhere with man. It's not just that. There's a lot of ecosystem, history, culture attached to it.
Vidhi, you are a founder of an Indian lifestyle brand. So you represent somewhere, what you borrow from your rich past, and you kind of repackage it, and you understand the language of today's generation. But you think the current crop of ads are missing that point, or they're just trying to catch in on some kind of maybe, oh, this gender buzzword will do well, and they're being insensitive in that.
I think they're being clueless. I think they're being clueless, and then there is an amount of arrogance attached to that cluelessness. It's absolutely fine to not know, but when somebody is at least trying to tell you, at least have the patience and the fortitude to listen to what they are saying. For example, today I was reading about this recent Fab India controversy. Today I was reading somewhere somebody saying what's the big deal? What's the big deal? And and this what's the big deal is something that I've just gone on reading about each and everything. Big deal, the big deal is that this is sheer laziness. This is not creativity. This is just the
and also
disrespect. Creativity, disrespect, exactly. And I feel that brands today are trying to push a very warped version of India, a very, how should I put it? And I mean no disrespect to non-resident Indians when I say that, but a very, very anglicized and an English version of India when they put people in like, for example, in very, very bright colors. Like we as Indians don't know how to manage or handle colors. Of course, we love bright colors, but we know how to handle them and show
and
us as a stereotypical. Exactly, and show us as a stereotypical image of people who put a lot of oil in our hair and plait it very tight or something like that. Like we are somebody from a very different age and era. Whereas Indian fashion across the country is as varied as its population and has evolved. Yeah.
And also, this is one side. So this is one extreme. What we are noticing are like extremes of everything. This is one extreme, and the other extreme is the minimal, the whole pseudo minimal look. Like you kind of do a dark, washed out, excessively monochromatic campaign or a lookbook, and you think it's very modern, or you think it is very it's very trendy, but it's not that. That means you're not projecting. See, a festive, the Indian festive season, which is like primarily starts from mid-September, October, and then we go on, like it goes on winters and all. So we kind of bring out our silks, we kind of bring out our bright colors. There is a luster, there is this rustle of luscious fabrics. So there is this happy thing that is happening, and we always reserve our pastels and our softer tones for summers. But when you are continuously hopping on minimal, it somehow offsets that. It somehow kind of breaks into that whole festive fervor, and people who actually like their colors might think, are we being too outdated? Are we not being modern enough? Maybe we should not indulge in all this, and maybe we should go minimal. You
Yeah.
can go minimal, but this constant harping is what is like I have this thing, like I wear a lot of bright colors when when there's the festives. I bring out my jewels, but I notice a lot of campaigns, they don't have jewelry during this time. I find it
Yeah,
very problematic.
that's true.
I find it that I feel that why don't you dress up? This is the time we need to dress up. Uh, and of course, I have this feeling that if you dress up, you automatically start feeling festive. The air is
Absolutely.
changing.
Yeah,
But then
it's
campaigns,
a,
they
it's
look
an
so
uplifting.
sad, and
Uh,
they're so, Deepti, you would know, since you have
yeah,
been like in the fashion, in circuit, that there was this
space. Yeah,
concept,
yeah,
sharp and dark shoots. High fashion shoots
yeah,
where the model used to be instructed, give us a sharp look, give us a sharp look. See,
yeah,
what happens is the Indian festive season, the campaigns, it cannot, that sharp look won't work because our face cutting is not like that. We are
Exactly.
yeah,
supposed to look happy. Even if you're not
yeah,
grinning into the
yeah,
camera, you're supposed to give a soft
yeah,
smile so that it gives
yeah.
out a very nice and pleasant idea to the onlooker. But here I see all dark and sad faces, and I feel
And
it
also,
presents a very
I
negative.
mean, do you find that problematic? There's also been a raised issue of if you're not wearing a bindi, like it's trying to homogenize a group and make a group that is not a bindi wearer group more comfortable. Do you think is that deliberate, or you think it's
Um,
just to address
See,
urban
to make a full campaign like that is, I
with
feel,
not even
it's
one
a little
model? Yeah,
problematic. Yeah, so
yeah.
we
It's
should see,
conspicuous by
you could
absence.
probably, if you at all had to make it, more global, you should balance it out. You could put like
Yeah,
pictures of models with bindi, and
yeah.
there are many people who probably wouldn't want to wear a bindi. Okay,
Yeah,
like I personally dress up. Sometimes I want to wear a bindi according to what I'm wearing, and sometimes when my sari is a little towards, uh, I don't know, it's more of a party sari,
yeah.
then maybe I wouldn't wear a bindi, but I'll
You style
compensate
it
with
differently.
jewelry
Yeah,
accordingly. I'll style
yeah,
it different. So, but to make a campaign where there is no bindi and the styling is more, it's not exactly a
Western.
Hindu festive styling,
Yeah, yeah.
gives out a, I don't know, gives out a very confused signal.
Washed
In
out.
fact,
So
if I may,
Vidhi,
I would like to, yeah,
yeah.
I would
I
just
want
like
to
to
ask
add
because
to the,
you
yeah.
talk. Yeah, please add.
Okay,
You want to go
sorry.
ahead?
I would just like
Yeah.
to add this one point that Sharmi has made. Last year, when I did my festive campaign for Diwali, I named it Dhan Lakshmi. And for Dhan Lakshmi, there was a cover shot campaign. It's actually to add to what she's saying. The cover shot campaign had two versions of Goddess Lakshmi. And there was Bindi, there was the whole Raja Ravi Verma look, painting, and everything that was there. But when I had to portray the product, now this is a cover shot and only one or two saris get covered in that. But when I had to do product shot, I wanted a very 60s inspired Asha Parekh, Wahida Rahman kind of a look. And there I like a very party, buffo sort of a
Cocktail.
60s
Yeah.
buffo look.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there I did not
Yeah.
make the models wear bindi. So it's all about the balance that you do. We are not saying that Diwali hai to bindi lagani hi lagani hai. We're not saying that. All we are saying is that, like she said, that don't send out a very
Has some
confused signal.
representation of every
Exactly,
person.
exactly. That's the only thing I
Also,
wanted to
Vidhi,
add.
you talk a lot about luck. There's a you talk about Lucknow and
Yeah.
the Hindustani influence, and you've talked about so when Fab India called their campaign Jashneriwaz, a lot of people said that Urdu and Hindi, they are both integral parts of India, and there shouldn't be a problem. What do you think happened there? Why do you think it's problematic if they call it that and not a particularly Hindi Sanskritized title?
Okay, it's problematic on many levels, not just one. First of all, Deepavali, Deepotsav, Deepmala, these words have again, like I said, historical, cultural, religious significance. They are not just words for the heck of it. First thing is that it's an innately, while the country is secular, the festival is innately Hindu. And you expect a certain amount of there's a certain expectation attached to it, that
Yeah.
of course we'll be looking at a name like Shubh Deepavali, like Deepotsav, or something like that. First thing is that. And another thing is, Urdu is not the only language that Lucknow, or for that matter India, is associated with. There are many languages over here. Not everybody is as comfortable with Urdu throughout the country. They're more comfortable with Hindi. For example, even in Bengal, when I try to catch Bengali, there are more Hindi, more Sanskritized words as compared to Urdu words in the language, in the fabric of the language. So similarly, the problem is, it's a Hindu festival. Obviously, the representation has to be that. We don't call Eid by a Sanskrit name. We call Eid as Eid Mubarak. I don't even say Happy Eid to my team of people,
Muslim
my
friends.
staff. I don't say Happy Eid to them. I say Eid Mubarak. I don't even say Shubh Eid. It doesn't even sound good together. It's really funny that when you give fusion food to people say, oh, please don't give me this fusion food. I like to have food in its purest form.
Authentic
But when
food.
you talk about religion, culture, then immediately all these shields come up, or these shields of, oh, it's a secular country, come up. Third thing is that third point is that for years, for decades, we used to call it Happy Diwali. And this constant harping of Happy Diwali has kind of anglicized the festival to such an extent that, except for that mandatory Om Jai Jagdish Hare Aarti, nobody really cares about Diwali, its various rituals, what happens in Dhanteras, why we do Kuber Puja, why we do Ganesh Ji Puja, why we do Lakshmi Ji Puja, what happens the next day after Diwali. There's Annakut, which happens the next day after Diwali, Govardhan Puja. Why is Bhai Dooj celebrated? Why does it go up till, Chhat Puja? Chhat is one of the most eco-sensitive festivals of the country. And then why does it extend up to Dev Deepavali? We have forgotten all of that. There is a lot of history attached from Navratri. From Navratri to Dev Deepavali. So, just diluting it by calling it something which is not innately a part of that, the history of that festival, makes it completely outlandish and outrageous, for that matter. Third thing, and I'm saying this to all my Urdu loving friends, it's not like I don't love Urdu. But any sane Urdu lover, any sane Urdu connoisseur should also be deeply insulted कि A लगाकर, you're making a Sharbat-e-Azam of every name, every terminology that is out there. Jashne Bahara, Jashne Firoza, Jashne something or something, and you're just plastering it on each and everything. The same thing happened.
Everything has become so flaky and
so
flimsy.
flaky, exactly. Now, for example, when we started saying Happy Diwali, what happened? 2-3 decades back, if you remember, a confectionery giant replaced the Diwali ki mithai with chocolate boxes as an idea of gift. Now, you have to understand, every festival comes with its set of economies and ecosystem. Diwali is associated with Diwali ki mithai, same way Eid is associated with Eid ki sivai. And you did not, like, for example, if you go for an Eid lunch, you expect sivai. People who make that tar wali sivai, they are associated with this festival. Now, what if you come to a Muslim friend's house and they serve you chocolate souffle? Now, as tasty as the souffle is, aapka muh tar jayega. You'll be like, I was expecting sivai at that point of time. Similarly, when it comes to Diwali ki mithai is integral to it. Not just because we said, "Arey kya farak padta hai, let's call it Happy Diwali." What happened was that a confectionery giant, they want that. They want you to leave your inherent unique cultural identity and become one global citizen. Because this is how they'll be able to put a standardized benchmark on you and sell their products. So what happened was that they started replacing mithai ka dabba with chocolate boxes. And even everyone in my family, all us youngsters, we thought it was a symbol of, being arrived, giving each other chocolate boxes, and we cut down on mithai. Absolutely. And this is what starts happening gradually. Today, everybody has forgotten rituals. Now, if you make it
goes into the economic space, obviously.
Exactly. So there has to be a difference between pure and blended. It is simply that.
Yeah.
Nobody is hating Urdu. Nobody is, in fact, if you are truly an Urdu loving person, you are not going to like this tagline, Jashne, whatever it
Yeah.
was. You're not going to like it. This is very lazy Urdu, very pop Urdu. This is not even proper
Yeah.
Urdu.
She's
Uh,
so right. I was just thinking that, after Durga Puja, we have Bijaya. And for Bijaya, earlier we used to take Mishti to people's home, to our relatives' home, to our friends' homes. And Mishti means not the usual Rasgulla and all. So there used to be Chita Bhog, which is like, rice. It's a very delicate rice type Mishti. Then we used to have Mihi Dana. Then we used to have khaja, this, that, and lot of special kinds of mishtis that
Yeah.
used to be made specially on this occasion. But kya hua?
yeah.
People have like, oh, let's इसी time में पूरा health conscious हो जाते हैं हम सब, and then slowly the mishtis went, and then people are like, oh, let's treat them at a restaurant, or let's make something else, let's give them a box of chocolates. Even corporate houses nowadays on Deepavali, they just give them a box of chocolates, or where is that वो असली वो घी के लड्डू, वो बूंदी के लड्डू कहाँ मिलते हैं, like it's
Absolutely.
been cut down. And the mithai walas who made these mithais, itna, it is making mithai is like an art. They are also going out of work, no? They are going out of business.
Yeah.
So it's something this people need to think about all this.
Sharmi, you've also, when I was going through your post, you also recently expressed your disgust over another post by another big lifestyle brand, Jaypore, where they've used the picture of Madhubala, who played who played Anarkali in Mughal Azam, and they've talked about solar Shringar, and finally they reach Goddess Lakshmi in their captions somewhere.
Yeah.
So, where do you think they went wrong? How you were upset, and I want you to take us through that.
So why? See, there are a lot of the
Problems with that.
whole the whole series was problematic. Firstly, before this, they put up a picture from Umrao Jan, where Umrao, which is also the story of a courtesan. She was a poetess. She was a shaira. I can understand beautiful shairi she used to do. But if we listen to the shairi in isolation, it talks about her pain, it talks about her love, it talks about her desolation, desperation, all that I can understand and I appreciate and I really respect that. But we cannot forget that means I wouldn't in my sense glorify the occupation of a courtesan, because it was an occupation that was heard on them. It was exploitation. It was an occupation that was thrust on women to appease men. Now, if you're glorifying that, saying, "Oh, dekho, beautiful clothes," so means if probably if they were given a choice, they would shed all those clothes and sit in one corner of their house eating a frugal meal and just being happy with what they are. They used to dress up to to be adored by men who were obviously Tawaif ghars were not exactly respectable quarters where men went to, and it is not a culture that respectable women would love to be part of. To bring that and compare it with Goddess Lakshmi is a travesty of what you understand of the goddess. Firstly, this, and secondly, if you're talking about Shola Shringar and then you're connecting it to Goddess Lakshmi, means don't we have pictures of Hindu married women? We have beautiful. We have Raja Ravi Verma paintings. We have, we have, the Indian artists who have painted beautiful women. And you have pictures of our old Ranis and I'm sure movie stars, everybody. But
Yeah.
means I love the story of Anarkali is extremely fascinating and
Tragic.
tragic, fascinating. It will grab eyeballs. All that I understand. But how is it related to? I'm still. It beats me. How can you kind of pull up such a problematic picture to discuss goddess Lakshmi and uh, you know mm, deduce her incarnation in a woman through ornaments? पहले तो first thing is the shola, the ornaments worn by courtesans is completely different to
Yes.
what goddess
That's
Lakshmi
yeah.
would wear.
Yeah.
And the whole iconography of the jewelry is only different.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
and it's such a confusing. So people would be like, अच्छा हाँ ऐसे हम पहन लेंगे और ऐसे पहन लेंगे तो हाँ ये तो so you understanding as it is youngsters today are not too clued into our Hindu customs or rituals, or they wouldn't know the history or the evolution of jewelry, Indian jewelry like that. And uske upar you are confusing them even more by bringing in
Yeah.
a picture of a popular fic, uh, person
Fictitious
from
character.
fiction, fictitious
Yeah.
character, and who can never be equated with goddess Lakshmi. I am not talking about people might there were people who were saying, oh, come on, don't get so offended. After all, a wife also has
Yeah.
Lakshmi in her. She could absolutely have Lakshmi in her. My question is,
But
would
it's not
would
like
the same picture would the same picture be put in a context where they are discussing prosperity in Eid? If you're not doing that for Eid also, then I don't think
yeah.
you should be doing this for say Deepavali or Lakshmi Puja or Durga Puja also. It just doesn't fit in.
Vidhi, you've also talked about Lakshmi, and you've written a beautiful post recently about how Masita had the same qualities because Lakshmi
Yeah.
had the soft qualities of what you call a
Yeah.
woman,
Yeah.
and you don't have everybody does not need to have warrior-like qualities to validate
Hmm.
themselves. So
Hmm.
you think it's just basic misunderstanding of Hindu deities, Hindu religion, and just like as you said, it's just lazy casual writing, and they think anything that will
Uh,
have the reinterpretation you think is usually very casual the way when they talk about our deities.
Absolutely, because Saraswati ji, Lakshmi ji, and Durga ji, Parvati ji, all three have innately different qualities. Now, first of all, a
Qualities.
person needs to understand that the embodiment of a woman has been shown so that see, we can't see their actual energy. So to capture their energy, they have been given a swaroop, a human swaroop,
Yeah.
and the human swaroop that has been given from top to toe. If you imagine, close your eyes and imagine goddess Lakshmi or goddess Saraswati or goddess Parvati ji,
The-
you will be able to see the difference. Now this difference, like I said, is not just been made by just like that by a dress designer ki acha lao aaj kuch tufani karte hain, let us paint this devi in some other light, and let's give her another look. These are part of the innate characteristics that energy holds. So my post was about how Sita ji is shown as a warrior princess. Not all war is done by wielding a weapon. There is an energy for that in women. They have that energy, but there is an energy of resilience, there is an energy of prosperity, there is an energy of thriving. For example, Sita ji is like a rock for Sri Ram. When he gets banishment, there's a natural feeling that he feels a little let down, he feels a little sad.
yeah.
Then Sita ji is there at that point of time to cheer him up, just one smile, and she's like, does not matter, I am coming with you. These are the kind of, this is also a war, this is also
Yeah.
a
A quiet
tenacity
strength.
of
Yeah.
character. Exactly, a
Yeah.
quiet strength, just being with him. And when I read Valmiki Ramayana, I'm still reading it, and that's more from a historical prism than
Yeah.
divinity prism. When I see that Sri Ram is going through that journey of Vanvas, and whenever he looks at Sita Ji's face, and he sees a smile over there, reassuring him, he just feels like all his troubles have gone away. It's that beautiful. And to completely distort it, try to put her as a warrior princess or a warrior woman, there's no need to do that. There is no need to confuse
Yeah, in
issues
fact,
like this.
Hinduism has never had a one size fit all kind of feminism. There have been so many
Exactly,
different
exactly.
manifestations
Exactly, like,
of women.
Saraswati, like, why do we
Yeah,
do Saraswati Puja? Because, like,
exactly.
it's like, Saraswati means, you kind of invoking creativity, you're invoking knowledge.
Exactly.
Lakshmi Puja, invoking prosperity. Like, in a Bengali home, we say, Rupe Lokhi Gune Saraswati, means you look sweet and nice and pretty like
Hmm.
Lakshmi, like goddess Lakshmi, and you do your work and you're creative and you're
Yes,
knowledgeable
exactly.
like Saraswati. So I think every as Vidhi said, there is a different energy for all your
Got it.
I think, yes, all your goddesses, and to just kind of buttonhole them into one particular thing is I don't think it fits
Yeah, and
right.
that's the reason why they are there. They are celebrated also. They are worshipped also at different time period. Even the time
Different times,
periods, the
yeah.
month, yeah, the season, everything is
Yeah.
in relativity to their innate characteristic strength. Everything is interconnected. To
And also
not
maybe
understand,
relevance for human beings at different times of the year. There is
absolutely,
some,
to not exactly to not understand that is to
certain
not
things,
know that
time to
is
the
one thing.
harvest, some to
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
some with
so
the
like,
harvest, some with the onset of
Saras,
farming. Yeah.
exactly. So Saraswati Puja happens once the winter is slowly going, the
Yes.
harvest is, and even for students, so that they've
Hmm.
spent the entire year studying. So right
Yeah.
now, the fag end of their session, and then a new session will start. So, their mind space is also, they're getting ready for a new session, a new journey of learning. So all this, I feel not everybody talks, nobody's interested.
Hmm.
Everything has
Yeah.
become so pop culture. Uh,
Hmm.
Exactly. So whoever
it's
says that their creativity is getting muzzled by this, this is not creative. This is the anti of anything that is creative. For
Yeah.
creativity, you have to do research. How can you be creative
Hmm.
without research? If you're just thinking
Hmm.
that, okay, I'm creative because one idea came through my brain, a lot of ideas come through many many brains, but
Hmm.
there has to be a research back to it to be able to,
Research back.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This brings me to Karwa Chauth because it's round the corner. And when Priyanka Chopra wore that, for a shoot, she wore a Mangalsutra, and it became, a topic of debate because people thought that she shouldn't have worn such a symbol of what they call patriarchy. And now Karwa Chauth is in a few days. And again, there'll be posts about how
it's my
patriarchal
pet
oppression.
peeve, I guess. I've
So
written
what
so
do
much
you
about
think
it.
of this festival? Do you think it's patriarchal at all? And what are
No,
your views
not
on
at
it?
all, not at all.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. See, I
Yeah.
am a very, I might not observe Karwa Chauth,
Yeah.
but let me, I touch my husband's feet after Bijaya, because
Yes.
in a Bengali house, we touch our elders' feet after Bijaya because,
Hmm.
and they bless us. So,
Hmm.
I touching my husband's feet doesn't mean that I am becoming his slave, because I know that
Exactly.
he's
Yeah.
going to bless me and
Hmm.
he cares for me, he loves me, and in his heart, he is going to think that no, let her be healthy, let her be happy.
Yeah.
This is the energy
Basic
that is
emotion. Yeah.
behind this whole this whole act. I am teaching my son that after Bijaya, you touch your elders' feet and they
Sweet.
will
Yeah.
bless you. It has a lot of, these blessings have a lot of power.
Yeah,
Okay. Now,
absolutely.
the Karwa Chauth is something, it's a, आप करवा चौथ मनाओगे इसमें आप छोटे कैसे हो जाते हो
Yeah.
I don't
Exactly.
Yeah.
understand this distorted narrative that, oh, it's a sign of patriarchy. All I see whenever I go down in my society and I see women observing Karwa Chauth, they are dressed beautifully. They
Yeah.
are wearing their most, they're wearing the beautiful
Finally,
saris
yeah.
and jewelry, and they have a smile on their face. They are enjoying that puja that they all do together. They are, you might have women who are doing it grudgingly. For them, maybe, yeah, it might be appear
Yeah.
like a ritual,
Yeah.
but there are women who do it very happily. मतलब सजते हैं, संवरते हैं, हाथों में मेहंदी लगाते हैं, and they are like, हाँ ये पहनेंगे, वो पहनेंगे, and they look forward to it.
Yeah. They look
Also,
forward
I
to it.
feel
Yeah.
all these festivals, they are very happy family celebrations.
Exactly.
We have
Yeah. That's
forgotten the
Absolutely.
concept of family
pandemic
celebrations,
world. Yeah.
the family celebrating together. Like, in
Exactly.
my the I am married to an East Bengali. Okay, I am a West Bengali. So East Bengalis have very elaborate Lokhi Pujo, like we say Kojagori Lokhi Pujo, and they do it very elaborately. Like people are called in people's homes. We distribute bhog, and वो इतना amazing affair होता है. My son was like, अच्छा ये भी होता है. Like, you're living as a
Exactly.
nuclear family in a different city, you don't get to witness all this. So
Yeah.
when he's here witnessing all this, for him it's a very happy thing. No, he's excited कि अरे इतने लोग आए हैं घर में, सब इतने अच्छे, मम्मी भी सारी सुंदर सज रही है, पापा भी ऐसे, मम्मी is also telling पापा कि तुम भी ये पहनो, telling my mother-in-law कि you also wear a nice silky sari. So it's a happy thing.
Yeah.
Celebrations, festivals are a happy thing. I don't understand why bring this whole concept of patriarchy into it. And आप
Into
गांव में चले जाओ,
everything.
गांव
Yeah.
में भी ये छोटा सा उनका celebration ही होता है.
Yeah.
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 I
These
Exactly.
don't
are this.
understand this whole सब कुछ
Yeah.
में.
As you know, as both of you, as just also influencers in the space that you're in, what are you doing to increase this awareness, and what, like, through whether it's by wearing these saris and telling the stories behind these weaves, what do you think you're doing right now to spread more awareness about our culture, and what do you think can be done more by other brands also?
Okay.
See,
Wh- Okay. When I started talking about culture and Hindu culture and Hindu history and Vedic history through festivals, that's because that's who I am. I'm very excited about it. I can't contain myself
Yeah.
as soon as the festive season comes. So I had done the very first post on my business page on Miras, and it was unanimously and thumpingly loved by everybody, not just Hindus. It was loved by Muslims, it was loved by Christians, it
Indians.
was loved by people from people who are non-Indian completely, not NRIs, also non-Indians completely. And then I came to know that there is a lot of hunger and thirst to know about
To know.
history of one of
Yeah.
the oldest civilization of this world. And I have been reading up about Hindu culture since I was 6 years old. I was very fortunate. I started reading Kalyan from that age on my own. Without anybody giving Kalyan to
Yeah.
me. Kalyan is a magazine by Geeta Press Prakashan. And I used to find the stories, the write ups very interesting. Then it used to be very good. I don't know how it became a little bit down the line.
Yeah.
But because of that, a lot of concepts got cleared in my head right there. Then being from UP, a little bit of puja, ritual, everything naturally comes to you. So I simply translated them into each festival to try and explain. And it was always, so far it has always been received very positively. I think for me, one of the important points came when I heard a lot of this angst against Diwali being a polluting festival. And I thought that was one
Yeah.
of the most short term thinking, that was one of the most a pop activism that, okay, there's a lot of smog, let's not put anybody else to
Add to
blame,
it, yeah.
let's pinpoint it on crackers, let's pinpoint it on
Yeah.
diya, let's
Yeah.
pinpoint it on havan, let's pinpoint it on anything with the softest group there, who is always willing to question themselves. And that was the point where I thought, no, I need to explain to everybody that Diwali or Deepavali is not just an affair of 1 day or 3 days. It's a continuous cultural and historical event from Navratra right up till Dev Deepavali. So that is how I started, and it has always been received very beautifully. It shows that there is a lot of hunger, a lot of thirst. Like, for example, recently I did a very elaborate post on Sharad Purnima. I don't know whether you read it or not. It is on
Yeah,
stories.
I did read that. And actually, a lot of it even I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
so
was really beautiful. Yeah.
Exact, and people said they've saved it so that they can read it to their children. And but there were Muslims who are not even Indians and not even of Indian origin. They are from some other country, and they liked it so much. They said, "Can you please make a link and save it?" Because everybody is treating as a part of history of the world. I simply fail to understand that why in our own country, where all these beautiful customs have thrived, have been there. There is so much of scorning and disdain for everything without even wanting to understand. So this is a place where I'm working. Of course, the idea is to just spread awareness, and I think that other brands should certainly do a little bit more research. You don't even have to do much. A little bit of research, asking your grandparents, just sitting down and having that patience and not arrogance about your privilege will do a lot of good for everybody, and that will bring a lot of peace. I don't know what this pop
And this
activism
is supposed
has
to be
brought.
happy. It's supposed to be happy time for everyone.
Happy
It's
occasion,
supposed to
exactly.
be
Why do we
been
have
in
to
a
quarrel,
post-pandemic
squabble?
world, and it should.
Exactly, and trust me, right now Hindus don't have time to squabble. It is actually something very unnerving, which is why they are talking about Fabindia or any other campaign. Otherwise, we this is the most joyous time for us. We would rather go and buy more diyas, but it is something unnerving. That's why we are talking about it.
What do you think, Sharmi?
A few days ago, I saw a post by Rawmango where they have traced back the nut, the evolution of the nut to the Mughal time. Okay, so it got lambasted, it got trolled, and then I realized that if this is not lazy content, what is? First of all, you have not everything cannot be we have not got everything from the Mughals. उससे पहले भी कुछ था. Yeah. So what I notice is what I have done is that since I was brought up in Calcutta, which is roughly a cosmopolitan city, I speak a lot about my memories. Okay, like how we used to celebrate festivals earlier. कैसे हम भाई दूज करते थे, कैसे हम लक्ष्मी पूजा करते, कैसे हम सरस्वती पूजा, दुर्गा पूजा करते. But what I do is I speak very I just tell them that, see, this is how we used to do it, and I really want my son to know the beauty of all this. So I will whatever little I can, I'm going to make sure that he also understands the beauty and the importance of all these festivals. But I also tell my followers that हम क्रिसमस पे भी ना ऐसे पार्क स्ट्रीट में जब चलते थे, it's to feel very happy. इतना lights है that it's looking like a sky full of stars. I have taken my son to Park Street in December, and he's actually said that, Mama, this is so beautiful. So if you celebrate each and every festival in its entirety, not celebrating your Durga Puja like say a Christmas. Celebrate Durga Puja like Durga Puja. Celebrate Diwali and Kali Puja like how they are supposed to be celebrated. Then you also enjoy a bit on Christmas. Eat your cake. Go to the cathedral. Listen to the midnight mass. Sing your hymns because we have also grown up singing hymns on Christmas because we were in convent schools. There's no need to kind of confuse one thing with another. You can celebrate all the festivals only, but celebrate them. My point is that celebrate to karo means somebody was just saying, oh, make sure you don't burn crackers, make sure you keep the streets clean so that Lakshmi can walk into your house. That means how, it is a, Lakshmi is not going to physically walk into your house. It's the whole, the economy is going to, when you buy your diyas, the poor
Exactly.
diya maker is going to get some money. If you burst a little cracker, the cracker maker gets a little bit of money. उससे ही तो Lakshmi ji will start entering the economy, na? नहीं तो, the spall of gloom is going to descend on this festival. And I don't understand what is this thing with crackers. You don't go and tell the celebrities who are doing wasteful big weddings where they are going to destinations, fancy destinations, and bursting huge crackers.
Everybody, we all have to check our carbon footprint on throughout the year.
We don't. We hardly see a furor now on crop burning. Then why will we not burst a little bit of? I'm not saying sound crackers. Sound crackers is harmful. It kind of affects the sanity of a lot of people. But थोड़ा सा फुलझड़ी जलाएंगे बच्चे, थोड़ा सा रंग मशाल जलाएंगे बच्चे, फैमिली एक साथ में मिलकर थोड़ा मिठाई खाएंगे एंड दिया जलाएंगे, तो उसमें why is it troubling people so much?
So much pressure.
What is this pseudo activism and pseudo social narrative that is spreading? It doesn't, I don't understand this. Means I am extremely in favor of celebrating festivals. I told my son that yes, we will.
Yeah. What's the harm in celebrating a festival? Why this pall of gloom over each and everything? I read a post somewhere who said that in order to show themselves as more minimalist than each other, how they are outdoing each other. One said that on the night of Diwali, I prefer to switch off lights of all my house and sit and tell everyone to sit and read. And this is how we are bringing Lakshmi into our lives. And I thought, my God, this is like the saddest thing that I've ever heard. Poor
depression.
Poor family. I mean, I can't even imagine doing that unless there has been a death in somebody's home. You are not supposed to do that.
No,
and what are you telling? What are you going to tell your kids? Is this how a festival is supposed to be celebrated? Have you seen the kids' face when you light up your house with lights and diyas and those little mini lights? Means I see it right in front of my face. हम बचपन में हम करते थे. We used to jump with excitement. My son jumps with excitement. And he keeps saying, it's Diwali,
these days, exactly. And what these days will become then for such children, because I've seen such children who don't see a good festive atmosphere around them. Then these become long holidays and people actually plan and go to Singapore, Dubai or any other country during this Diwali period, when others sitting over there say, oh my God, this must be so beautiful in your country out there at this point of time. I wish we could be there. At that point of time, many people decide to take it as a long holiday. This is the detachment with the whole cultural and the historical root of the country.
Absolutely.
And also then you benefit another country's economy during that time where
this is what happens. When you buy that confectionery giant's big box of chocolates and replace it with mithai, then you are not giving chance to a homegrown mithai maker to actually give a good fight. And then you talk about consumerism on this one day. If somebody is doing a shopping of a sari, or if somebody is doing a shopping of some crackers, you're talking about consumering, ruining and polluting everything. But you are you're not thinking that by doing this, that money will not be kept hoarded with anybody. What they'll do is they'll find this entire period so boring and gloomy. Exactly, gloomy. They're going to put that into some other economy. So, and that's what is happening exactly.
That's what's happening. Okay. Thank you to both of you. I think it's been a great chat. But it's been wonderful, the work that you both are doing and giving voice to one of the most ancient religions and finding a very modern, urban way of putting things across. I think I really hope it resonates with a lot of people. I really hope this festival time we can all learn to just celebrate, and and because these festivals are not just Hindu festivals, they are festivals for Indians. All the because
like Dipti, I'll just add one
Holi
more
and
thing.
Diwali are just one race. Yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot of people saying, oh, don't buy clothes, wear old, repurpose, and there is this whole crazy pre-loved culture. But
Yeah, because this whole
but
environment friendly, sustainable living,
yeah,
obviously it has merit. Yeah.
बचपन से festivals were the time we used to look forward कि नए कपड़े मिलेंगे, we'll dress
Exactly,
up
at
in our
least.
new
Yeah.
clothes, नए कपड़े की एक चमक होती है. That chamak makes your face glow. That's why we
Yeah.
say the notun jama, পুজোয় আমরা নতুন জামা পরবো. We used to have 3-4, लेकिन उसमें ही हम खुश होते थे. लेकिन अब पूजा, दिवाली, धनतेरस में नए कपड़े या कुछ नए खरीदेंगे तो कब खरीदेंगे?
Nobody's stopping anyone from repurposing, pre-loving. You
Because
can do that throughout
how
the
you
year.
keep the cycle going. Yeah.
Absolutely, that's how you keep the
That's true.
economic cycle going.
Yeah. Economic side. So let's hope that we can reclaim the festivities,
Yes.
and I'm sure that what you both are doing great work in this space. Thank you so much for this conversation.
Thank you so much, Deepthi, for the
all the
hearing
best.
us out.
Yeah.
Happy Diwali, and thank you
Same
for
to
all
you.
that
Happy
you do.
festivities. Happy festivities.
Same to you. Same
And
to you.
let's hope
Okay.
this week we
Bye.
can go without more debate. Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Hindu festivals should not only be claimed by Hindus alone. As Bharatiya people living together for time immemorial, Holi, Diwali, Raksha Bandhan are festivals for all Indians. In a post-pandemic world, shouldn't they become symbols of hope and even renewed buoyancy for the economy and overall mood? Do they need to be covered by this hateful brush, causing debates, boycotts, and trending hashtags?